23/0/14. The Honorable, my beloved lecturer, Miss Mary Agustiani. Okay, in this occasion, I will explain the research proposal. The title is Analysis on Student Problem in Writing Recount Text at 6th semester of English Education Study Program at Batu Raja University. Okay, the first is background of study. Language as means of communication has important position in the world. English as one of the language in the world is considered and applied as international language. In Indonesia itself, English is the most important foreign language because English has influenced many aspects of life. The development of science and technology is also mostly transferred through English. Based on English curriculum, there are 4 language skills that the learners should master. The 4 language skills are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Listening is an effective activity that involves receiving, deciphering, and perceiving a message with intent to respond. Speaking is an interactive process of contrasting meaning that involves producing. The third is reading. Reading is the process of extracting meaning from the written or painted text. Then writing is a skill that learner above how to express the writer idea in writing and written form that involve the mastery of all elements in target language, namely are grammar, content, organization, vocabulary, punctuation, spelling, and mechanic. Writing needs a complex process. Most of people know, recently, there is much information which is transferred using discourse of article from the internet. It becomes a fact that writing skill has crucial role. The student should be given many exercise and practice by writing sentence, essay, paragraph, and so on. So, to support the language skill, especially writing skill, the process of English teaching in university is focused on genre. The students are introduction by kinds of genre in the text. Those genre involve recount, report, narrative, procedure, description, new item, analytical exposition, spoof, hortatory exposition, and review. For some Indonesian students, learning genre on its writing is difficult. It is caused by the complication of its role. Each genre is characterized by a distinct semantic structure, social function, and grammatical feature. Each semantic structure of genre has distinctive beginning, middle, and end structure. The content or the social function of each genre is also different. The grammatical feature of genre also have their own role. For example, if students make a recount text, they have to use past tense. But if students make a procedure text, they have to use present tense, especially imperative sentence. As we know, there are many students who still don't understand tenses and aspect of it correctly, and the teacher cannot ignore the fact. Consequently, if the teacher doesn't explain the schematic structure, grammatical feature, and the social function in detail, the student will have a lot of problem in writing genre, and they will easily make an error. From the explanation above, it can be concluded that learning genre is complicated for students because it has language complex rule. In this research, I am choose recount text because it mostly tells past experience by retelling event which student happen. It also can be used to attract, motivate, inform, and entertain the student. As a result, the student will be interested in studying English in order to increase their mastery in writing. Based on this background above, the researcher is interested in analyzing the student problem in writing the context. Thus, this research is entitled An Analysis of Student Problem in Writing the Context at 6th semester of Batu Raja University. B. Problem of the study. The first is limitation of the problem. English teaching has 4 skills to focus. There are reading, writing, speaking, and listening. In this study, the researcher will focus on writing skill. The researcher will observe the writing skill in context at 6th semester in English Education Study Program Batu Raja University. The component of writing that text include organization, content, vocabulary, and grammar. The second is formulation of the problem. Based on the problem above, I would like to formulate the problem as first, how is the student ability in writing the context? Second, what are the student problem in writing the context? Third, what is the most dominant problem done by 6th semester student of English Education Study Program in Batu Raja University? Okay, the next is objective of study. Consider the 4 of problem. The study is oriented toward the following objective. The first is to know student ability in writing the context of 6th semester English Education Study Program of Batu Raja University. The second is to analyze these kinds of student problem in writing the context of the 6th semester English Education Study Program of Batu Raja University. And the last is to find out the most dominant problem did by the 6th semester student of English Education Study Program at Batu Raja University in context. Okay, C. Significance of study. After I'm finished this study, the result of this research will give positive contribute to the following. The first positive contribution is for the English teacher. The result of the research not only can be used as the description and information about how far the student catch what the teacher teach from the process of study. By knowing the most student problem in writing genre, it also can be used as a reference when the teacher want to improve student writing skill. The second is for the student. After knowing the result of the student writing, they will know how far their ability in writing the context. It also can be used as information about what problem do they have in writing genre, especially in writing the context. By knowing their problem, the student can improve their writing and they can make an effective and good text. And the last, for the researcher, the result of this research might become a reference for other researchers who want to conduct the further research or the similar problem. This research also can help the other researcher in improving the knowledge about the analysis of students' problem in writing genre and getting more useful experience and information in order to be the best for the future. The next one is literature review. A. Writing. Based on English curriculum, there are 4 language skills that learners should be learned. The 4 language skills are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In this chapter, I will try to explain the definition of writing and purpose of writing. The first definition of writing. Writing as a continuous process of thinking, recognizing, rethinking, and recognizing. It means that writing is a process by drawing something based on writer background knowledge and organize their knowledge into a good paragraph. So, the student have to read a lot of books to get inspiration and write a lot to increase their capability. Writing is usually to be the most difficult skill to acquire. In fact, writing is more complicated than other skill. It is because writing needs more aspect, not only grammatical and vocabulary, but more. The second is purpose of writing. There are some purpose given by something linguistic in writing. The purpose of writing, in principle, is expressing the people ideas, the conveying the message to reader, so the ideas themselves should arguably be seen as the most important aspect in writing. It means the purpose of writing is to express writer idea to the reader in written form. From the definition, I can conclude that the purpose of writing is it to express someone's ideas to the reader in written forms. It can persuade something, give information, and express someone's feeling. Hopefully, the student can express their idea in written form. The third is writing skill. According to Brown, there are 5 indicators of writing skill. The first is the pupils are able to produce writing with the high degree of organization in the development of ideas and information. The second is the pupils are able to produce writing with the control of the content. The third is the pupils are able to use the complex grammatical device for focus and emphasis or syntax. The fourth is the pupils are able to use correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization or mechanic. And the last one is the pupils are able to use careful choice of word or vocabulary. Okay, in this skill have two mastery skill. The first is micro skill. Micro skill produce grammar and orthographic pattern of English, produce writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose, produce an acceptable core of word and use appropriate word order pattern, use acceptable grammatical system, pattern and rule, express a particular meaning in different grammar form, use cohesive in written discourse. The next is macro skills, the theoretical form and convention of written discourse, appropriately accomplish the communicative function of written text according to form and purpose, convey links and connection between event, and communicative such relation as main idea, supporting idea, new information, given information, generalization, and exemplification. Distinguish between culturally specific reference in the context of written text. Okay, previous related study. This study belongs to descriptive qualitative analysis in form of qualitative research about analyzing and describing the student problem in writing recount text at the 6th semester student of English Education Study Program in Batu Raja University. The researcher took from Arikunto notes that descriptive study is a researcher which is conducted to investigate a condition or other phenomenon or which the result is present in a report. This study is called analysis because it's trying to be analyzed objectively about the student problem in recount text. Okay, the researcher setting. The first is researcher place. The researcher was held at Batu Raja University, which is located at Ratu Penghulu, number 2301, Karangsari, Tanjung Baru, Batu Raja Timur, Ogan Komering Ulu, Sumatera Selatan. The researcher time, this research will conduct starting from the end of April 2021. in Batu Raja University. The researcher took the 6th-semester student of English Education Study Program at Batu Raja University. The next is researcher subject. The researcher subject of this researcher was the 6th-semester student of English Education Study Program at Batu Raja University in the academic year 2020 and 2021. The researcher just took one class and consists of 20 students. Method and design of the study. In this research, I will use descriptive qualitative researcher for analysis the student ability and problem in writing recount text, which focus on the component of writing. There are 5 components of writing, namely content, organization, vocabulary, grammar, and mechanic. But in this research, I only evaluate 4 components of writing. They are organization, content, vocabulary, and grammar. The next is source of the data. Data source is a person, something, or a place that provides information related to research. In this study, the data sources are derived from the 6th-semester student of English Education Study Program at Batu Raja University through giving the test to the student. The next is technique of collecting data. Data collection is one of procedure is systematic research. In collecting data, the researcher used the method. By using the method, the test method, the researcher takes all the student writing in print form. The steps of data collection are described as follows. First, preparing the researcher instrument. The second is giving the test to the student. Test was given once. The third is collecting the data in written form, and the last one is reading and analyzing student writing, which was written by the student on April 2021. Technique of analyzing data. In analyzing the data, I apply descriptive method. In doing the analysis, the researchers goes through the following steps. The first is scoring the student writing. To compute the result of student writing, I use broad and Braille analytical scoring. Based on the writing, there were 5 categories given, but in this researcher, I modify in 4 categories that will be evaluate the scoring as follow: organization, content, grammar, and also vocabulary. The second is classifying the problem based on the category of the problem. There are 4 categories of the problem. They are content, organization, grammar, and vocabulary. In this research, there are also 4 levels in writing scoring. The student who categorize have problem in students reading on fair or poor level in each category. The third is analyzing the data. The researcher also computes the percentage, the student problem, and the dominant problem that student made in writing recount text. In order to compute the percentage of problem made by each student, the researcher used the percentage description analysis. Number 4 is discussing. Okay, I think that's all my explanation. Sorry for the mistake. And I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.